So I was Michelangelo, the artistic flow coming from STL. The legendary shows, I knew I'd be a star, but little did I know it wouldn't be from bars. See, that's the big league, the radar online. I wasn't the undefeated, but I still was gon' shine. I took a few L's, took them shots like Pop, but then I got my weight up like Jason Whitlock. Pivot like Brian Clark, skipping Bailey, Shannon Sharp. Don't have to scream like Stephen A to get my point across. Climb Jamel Hills, won carry championships. They were quick to pull the gun, hoping Rob would quit. But 15 years later, Rob's still the shit. Rob's still legit. Rob's still on everyone's pound for pound list. Rob is courtside, Rob is ringside. Catch Rob outside at the 50-yard line. Don't act surprised, Rob is a winner. George Steinbrenner cooking up these headlines. What you want for dinner? The Black Sports Center, you know who I be. Triple OG, the Ohio State University. That's who reps me. I'm love for a friend. I just murdered this track, call that a dead spin. The Headline King is back. Canelo! Tell them what they want.
Payday, payday, you want payday?
I said, Canelo! Tell them what they want.
Payday, payday, you want payday?
Normally, when we're talking about the cash cow of boxing, we're talking about Canelo Alvarez. But no. Today, we're talking about Jake Paul. Because everybody wants that Jake Paul stimulus package. I woke up today, I saw Andre Ward. I saw Arthur Beterbiev. I saw a streamer, somebody named Ice Speed, very popular young kid out there. I saw Evander Holyfield. Hell, I saw Tank Davis. And Tank Davis is only 5'6". But they all wanted that Jake Paul retirement fund. And the reason why is because they saw Mike Tyson get $30 million to fight Jake Paul on Netflix. 100 million people saw Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I don't know if 100,000 people have ever seen Andre Ward fight. 100 million people. Every MMA fighter that Jake Paul has fought has made more money in their 1 or 2 fights with Jake Paul than they did their entire career in the UFC. That would frustrate me to see Dana White on Air Force One with Donald Trump doing the dance, talking about how he's blowing $1, $2, $3 million at the casino while he's paying me $35,000 and my eyes falling out of my head from the octagon. So yeah, I understand. I'm not hating. If somebody told me I could fight Jake Paul, I would do it. I would be a meme for $10 million, set my family up for life. I understand. Here's what I don't understand. Honest kids. These are really good. The hypocrisy of it all. Because, see, these same people say Jake Paul is terrible for boxing. He's destroying boxing. He's messing up boxing. It's a show. It's rigged. It's not real. It's influencer boxing. And what about the culture of the sweet science? They all say that until the possibility of the check. Then all of a sudden, it's okay for them to get in the ring with Jake Paul. Because money rules everything. Reality is a fallacy these days. Just like this scene from The Matrix.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years You know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
This is the reality that we're living in the not so United States of America. We know that certain people are con men. We know certain things are fake. We know that certain celebrities are idiots. We know that we're being conned, that we're being taken advantage of. We don't care. Steak still tastes good, even though we know it's not real. You know, when Jake Paul and Mike Tyson announced they were going to fight, what type of fight it was going to be. Mike Tyson is almost a 60-year-old man who's been beaten the head for the first almost 30 years, 30, 35 years of his life, has multiple health issues, has to get around with a wheelchair, needs a cane, had a bleeding ulcer. You knew in your mind how this fight was going to go, but you didn't care because you care more about the fantasy than the reality. You say you care, but you don't. And the reason that I know this is because Mike Tyson and Jake Paul was the most bet on boxing match of all time, and most of the money was on Mike Tyson. We prefer the Matrix. We prefer the fantasy. We don't like to live in reality because reality is not an enjoyable place to be. We prefer to think that there are people out there eating cats and dogs, even if all of the evidence says that this is not true. We prefer a president who has good one-liners and who's more of a comedian than a politician, than someone that will actually try to help the country, because everybody wants attention. Everybody wants to be seen. And the best way to be seen is essentially to talk crazy. That's the best way to be seen. Talking normal, talking rational, trying to have intelligent conversations is not the way to be seen in 2024. Acting a fool is the best way for you to be seen in 2024. And it's monetized. And you make a lot of money. And the more money that you make, the crazier that you talk. I don't know if Jake Paul is a good guy or a bad guy. I don't know how much of this is real and how much of this is fake. What I do know is that in 2024, he's the perfect societal person to make this type of thing work. Many, many, many moons ago, I used to work at a call center for Charter Communications. And I was on the team that, called out and sold you cable and internet and long distance and whatever it was back in the day. And it was 12 people on the team, and there was like 10 teams, and each team had a manager, and then you had one big manager over all of the teams. And I remember the big manager left to go do something else, got another job. And they brought in a new manager. But they didn't bring in a new manager from within. They brought in a new manager from another company. And that other company really didn't have anything to do with what Charter Communications was doing. But they considered it a big hire. And this person came in because they had did all this stuff with this other company and changed all the protocols, changed all the scripts, changed all the way that we did our selling and what was making us successful. And about 6 months after that manager came in, we all got called into a team meeting where they told us they were going to lay off about half of the teams because the sales numbers had dramatically decreased since this new manager came in and decided to do things her way, as opposed to the way that was actually working, before. Now, ironically, the new manager did not get fired and was not part of those layoffs. Ironically, the new manager just retired and went about her merry way with pension or whatever you get in retirement benefits or whatever. Meanwhile, there were young people like myself, who needed that job at the time. There's a lot of young people at that job, a lot of young parents a lot of people that needed the benefits. They basically lost their job, lost their benefits, all because this person came in and messed up what was working, but didn't sacrifice anything. No consequences for what they've done. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a true story, but it's also a story about Aaron Rodgers. Lastly, we have to talk about Bronny James. You know me. I love some black nepotism. The reason I love black nepotism is only bad if you're black. Any other race, nepotism is good for them. The way that you create generational wealth, generational legacy, is through nepotism. Your grandfather passed this down to your father, they passed this down to you, you pass that down to your son passed that down to your grandkid. You get what I'm saying. This country is built off nepotism. Mainly white nepotism, but other cultures do it as well. There's a reason that there's Asian banks, Asian grocery stores. That's just passing it down, creating a generational wealth for the next group of your kids, your family members, whatever it may be. It's only bad when black people do it, which is crazy because we started from the least. We didn't start with anything. We never got our 40 acres and a mule. So I never had a problem with LeBron using nepotism to maneuver the Lakers around, helping out his son, Bronny, and getting him on the team. If any of us had that power, we likely would do it. People always say, well, nobody else did it but LeBron. Well, LeBron, A, is the only person that's played long enough to do it. Secondly, he's the only one that had the power to do it. And yes, there's been plenty of sons that have played in the NBA. Well, normally if you have the genetics, your father's an NBA player, you already are a step ahead. Your father's 6'6", and played in the NBA for 10 years, that's going to give you a jump. Black nepotism is deeper, or nepotism in general is deeper than just getting somebody an opportunity. You have to think about it like this. Let's say you work a corporate job. You're 5'8", and you make $100,000 a year, right? Not bad. You have a son. You can help him along with sports. You're doing okay. You're middle class, right? Your son is 5'9", 5'11", maybe 6 feet. Maybe he can be a cornerback, whatever. You can help him along, right? Now imagine, though, if you played professionally and you made $10 million a year, what could you do more for your son? Get him better trainers. Probably has a chef. Your weight room is probably in your house. You have multiple connections. You already have an agent. You have marketing people. You have trainers. You probably are connected with the high schools and the colleges. All of that is part of nepotism. It's helping your children do better than what you had. LeBron was gifted, but he still had to work that out the mud. Bronny did not have to get it out the mud, which is fine. Why would you want your kids to get dirty? That really makes no sense to me. If I got it out the dirt, it's so you don't have to get dirty. It's so your white shirt can be clean. Your sneakers don't have to have no scuffs on it. You don't have to ride. I drove a hoopty for the first 30 years of my life. My daughter want a nice car, she go get it. One that she don't have to worry about the wheels falling off, or the brakes not working, or it overheating on the way to work. Why would I force her to deal with something like that? That's what nepotism is really all about. With that being said, it can only go so far. You can give someone the opportunity. What they do with the opportunity at that point is on them. And that's what's slightly concerning about Bronny. When I heard that he wasn't going on the road with the G League team because he was, quote unquote, too famous, You have this opportunity, an opportunity that you likely wouldn't have got if your name was Lamar James. You got to take advantage of every single opportunity, every single minute, every opportunity to play. You need to be playing at the playground. Pick up anytime. Because what's the point of getting an opportunity is not taking advantage of it? Because you're too famous? You don't want to walk through the airport? You don't want to sign a few autographs? You don't want to deal with a little paparazzi? But do you want to be an NBA player? Because that's what you have to do. You have to get better on the court. And that doesn't matter if your name is LeBron James Jr. or Lamar James Jr. At a certain point, the only way to prove that you're an NBA player is on the court. And the only way to do that is by getting reps on the court. It doesn't help you to sit on the bench while the Lakers play and hope they get up by 30 so you can get in with the scrubs. No, you need to be playing in competitive games first quarter to fourth quarter. Because if not, then it just looks like this is just public relations. This is just PR. This is just, I wanted to get a picture, a video, something cool for the record book's history. And in a couple of years, it's going to be over. So Bronny has to decide. And he is a man. That's what LeBron always says. He's a man. He makes his own decisions. You make your own decisions. Walk into Jeannie Buss's office right now today and say, I'm going to fly United Airlines. I'm going to go with my team. I want to play every single minute that's afforded to me. And I want to prove that I'm an NBA player. This is the end of the video where I tell you that it's sponsored by absolutely no one yet. But if you could do me a favor and like and subscribe on all your podcasting channels, you can follow me on all of the social media spaces. We're going real digital in 2025. I got some heat coming for you. I really appreciate it. Just search the Headline King with Robert Littal.